All right, faithful, your 49ers are officially 3-0. Oh boy, it feels good to go up to that 3 wins, nothing in the loss column, picking up a 16-15 W against the division rival Arizona Cardinals, their home opener in Santa Clara, California. What a game it was. Of course, the division opponent, it's always going to be a tough game. Arizona, they always come out to play. They always come out to play against us. Kyler Murray constantly gives us problems with his scrambling ability. And of course, last season, they swept us. But hey, today, they were looking good. They were looking good, looking hot, looking fierce out there. Despite, it being a very back and forth, kind of a slow game. There wasn't a touchdown scored until I want to say the fourth quarter, but definitely the second half. Yeah, there was no touchdowns until the fourth quarter, so kind of crazy there. It was a slow game, but definitely ended in a heart racing manner. I'm sure all the faithful out there, we were sweating watching Eddie Pinheiro trot himself out there and hit that game-winning field goal. And boy, how about that, though? Eddie Pinheiro comes on out. What was it, a 51-yarder? Maybe it was shorter. Maybe it was 30-something. I forget exactly how. I know he hit a 51-yarder earlier in the game. But Eddie Pinheiro, man, he comes out there. It's only his second week with the team. He knows he's got to win this game to prove himself. He's got to hit this field goal. And he sinks it right through the middle, man. It couldn't have been any better. I know everybody out there was watching with PTSD from He Who Shall Not Be Named. I was definitely expecting it to go wide right, left or something. Something to go wrong. I was even scared of Calais Campbell's big 6'7", 6'8", getting up there, getting his mitts up there and blocking the kick with how crazy this week 3 has been in general. We've had, 5 blocked field goals? Because I was thinking, maybe that's in the air for us, but no. Big Eddie De Niro, he making that money, gets the game-winning field goal to put the Niners up 16-15. Now, how did the Arizona Cardinals get 15 points? Of course, we have to talk about this. Niners in one of their final possessions of the game, they're backed up in their own territory. Mac Jones takes the snap in the end zone, and he is under pressure. Calais Campbell ate through the offensive line. And boy, Calais Campbell, man, at his age, he is still moving strong. Calais Campbell busts through the line, and he's chasing Mac Jones down. He's right in Mac Jones' face, and I'm like, oh, God, Mac is about to die. But Dominic Pooney here got a little bit of a tug, just enough of a tug on Calais Campbell. And a holding in the end zone. Boom, a safety for Arizona. So that was big for them. That very well could have won them the game had the Niners defense not came up big. But before we get into their defense, let's talk about the offense. Mac Jones played good enough. Okay, he didn't play spectacular. He wasn't. There's gonna be no quarterback competition talks, of course. But Mac Jones came out here 27 for 41, 284 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. His interception was not the greatest throw in the world. He definitely had Pearsall. It was just a very tough throw to make, and I get it. Mac was feeling himself. I got to respect taking the attempt, but obviously it didn't end the way you want. 248 yards is nice, especially with no Juwan Jennings. A majority of the yards coming from Slick Ricky Pearsall, having himself a very much breakout game. 8 receptions, 117 yards. Wasn't able to find the end zone, unfortunately, but, it's all good. He was just getting open, and they were just feeding it to him. He is looking really good this season. You would expect with all the guys out that he was going to step up, and he has lived up to the offseason hype that was delivered to him. So that is very much nice to see. Unfortunately, Mac Jones did re-injure his PCL that he's been dealing with, I guess. So he was limping around for a little bit, but he still looked really good. In that latter half of the game, he was making some very nice throws to get the Niners in position for the field goal. But hopefully Brock Purdy is back next game so Mac can rest up, and Purdy sounds like he would have played today if it was a bigger game, if it was in the playoffs or something. Purdy would have suited up, so I expect him to be back next week. So that'll be great that Mac Jones doesn't have to go out there injured, or we don't have to put in our quarterback 3, who's, I believe, Adrian Martinez or something like that. Let's talk about Christian McCaffrey, of course. The offense goes where McCaffrey goes. and it relies heavily on McCaffrey. Still, 17 carries for 52 yards. The Cardinals are doing a great job stopping the run. They were plugging in gaps. They were getting a lot of stuff at or behind the line of scrimmage. Very impressive stuff from the Cardinals defense. You got to give a special shout out to Mac Wilson. He was all over the place for Arizona. He had a hat on McCaffrey, and whenever McCaffrey had that ball, he was going like a heat-seeking missile. So that was some pretty impressive stuff by Mac Wilson. McCaffrey also racked up 10 catches for 88 yards. I mean, he's basically the receiver two today with no Jawan Jennings, with no Ayuk, no Kittle. CMC basically fills that role of a receiver two, and he basically gave you receiver two production, which you love to see. It's good to get a division win and these early wins when you have, some star players sidelined for an extended period of time. So it makes it these backups, have to step up. You've put them in these positions to play the best that they can, and luckily they do. We also get Demarcus Robinson back next week. He was facing a 3-game suspension, so he's going to be good in the receiver room. Hopefully he can be that receiver 2 role that this team is desperately needed, because outside of Pearsall, he gets kind of mucky. Kendrick Bourne, he did do his job. He had 4 catches for 38 yards, but I think that Robinson is going to be a really good threat in the red zone especially, so getting that type of production out of him will be huge. Of course, we can't talk about the offense without talking about the offensive line. I think Dominic Pooney has to step up a little bit, man. He had a great rookie season. This season, he's kind of been slopping, and I'm sure it's not easy with Jake Brendel next to him, with all due respect to Jake Brendel. He is kind of the weakest part of the offensive line, even though PFF rates him high. You can see the eye test. He's a turnstile out there. So I need Pooney to step up. Okay, he had that very crucial holding penalty that turned into a safety that very well could have won them the game. Ben Barch, left guard, was out this game, and he's on IR. So rookie Connor Colby is stepping in for him, and he looks very nice. He had some great downfield blocking, some great screen blocking, so he's very impressive. So I think the offensive line is honestly really close to being really good. I just feel like that center position, I know that they've got Drew Moss out there. I would love to see him throw him in and see what the rookies got there. Let's move on to the defense, which is very easily the best part of this team. It is such a special defense. Picking up Robert Saleh and bringing him back should not go, underestimated. I think a lot of people forgot about that when they were predicting how good the Niners will be this season. People forget that they got Robert Saleh back. The big part, Nick Bosa got hurt. I've been glazing Bosa these past couple weeks because of how good he's performing. He's been quiet the past couple years, and now he was really looking good, really looking like some of his best football was being played, and unfortunately he gets hurt. It was a knee injury. Hopefully it's not too serious. He is getting evaluated. We will know the word. Honestly, by the time this video comes out, we'll probably know the word, so hopefully that update is positive. So without Bosa now, the pass rush is just kind of meh. We're relying heavily on Bryce Huff. We're relying on Mykel Williams, who actually had a really good game. He was stuffing the run. He was doing a great job stuffing the run, really, and getting a good amount of pressure on Kyler Murray. And, James Conner and Trey Benson almost had nowhere to go. Sorry about that, y'all. My camera died, so hopefully you guys can still see me all right. But anyways, as I was saying, Nick Bosa out. Mykel Williams, Bryce Huff, Yatir Gross-Matos. We're going to have to rely on those guys to bring in the pressure. And I'm very excited to see the development of those younger guys on the interior. CJ West, Alfred Collins. We saw Collins get in on that almost safety on Kyler Murray. He was scrambling. Pressure was getting to him, and he was scrambling in the end zone. Throws it out of bounds, intentional grounding. But they said that the entire player and football needed to be in the end zone, and apparently the football wasn't. So that sucked. But yeah, that was Alfred Collins and Mykel Williams in on the mix there. Overall, though, I expect this D-line to still be solid. Bryce Huff feels like he's found himself a career resurgence in San Francisco. He is looking really good. He's getting off the ball so fast. Mykel Williams is doing a great job inside and out. It's just going to, it's really going to come down to the depth. How are they going to do? Hopefully Bosa's scans come back clean. But if he does end up missing an extended period of time, it's going to come down to the young guys, as it has on the entirety of this defense. Where most of the guys, I feel, being in the secondary, really. Let's talk about that secondary. still a little spotty. There was a lot of busted coverages. Marvin Harrison was open on like 2, maybe 3 plays, and that just can't happen on the team's number one receiver. Diamador Lenore, he doesn't need to be talked about. He is so electric. He is locked down as per usual. Renardo Green, though, he's got to step it up a little bit. He's in his second year. He's kind of still learning, you can tell. But teams do target him at times. And, sometimes he does step up. Week 1, he looked really good. Week 2, gave up a ton of yards. Week 3, he was definitely a little improvement from week 2. But you want to see more from Renardo Green. In the slot, Upton Stout had maybe one of his better games today. I feel like he didn't blitz as much. I'm not entirely sure. But he came up with a big pass breakup. Arizona Cardinals, 3rd down, looking to ice the game with a 1st down here. Take the snap. They chuck it. It was Wilson, the receiver. He went up with it, and really he came down with it also. But Upton Stout, not giving up, coming down with the receiver, ripped that ball out, incomplete pass. So he really made the play of the game to give the 49ers a chance and keep the team still in the game. So that was big, and you want to see him carry off that momentum throughout the season, and I do expect him to be good. But also in that slot, we got Jerry Brown. The Niners have been mixing in Jerry Brown as a big slot in the beginning of the games, and frankly, I really like it. He has looked spectacular, exploding in the run game, and even blitzing him too. He almost got a sack on Kyler Murray, and so Brown has looked solid in that slot position, putting him closer to the ball, playing him in the box. So he's doing what he's best at, which is tackling. Sigel, he gave up I think he missed a tackle or took some bad angles, but again, he's still young. And then Pinnock is Pinnock. I can't wait to have Malik Mustafa back. That team is going to look dangerous. Hopefully he returns soon. And obviously the linebackers, Fred Warner, D. Winters, are insane. They are such ballers. I love this D. Winters breakout. Losing Dre Greenlaw sucked, but man, D. Winters, he's kind of like a more nimble Greenlaw. I feel like he moves a little bit smoother, and he has just looked spectacular. I mean, he might finish as a top 10 linebacker in the entire league. He just needs to get like a pick or something. He needs to get something to get talked about on that national level, which I think it's coming, man. I think it's coming for D. Winters soon. He was very close to one today, and I feel like it's going to happen soon. Because, other people don't see what the faithful see in Winter. All these great tackles, tracking down the ball. They want to see the interceptions. They want to see the turnovers. They want to see those insane plays. And I think they're going to come soon for D. Winters. Love how he has been stepping up. They both are just flying to the ball. Arizona played really well. It was a very competitive game. Their defense was here to play. They picked off Mac Jones one time, read his eyes just perfectly. Offensively, Kyler Murray only had 159 yards on 22 completions and 37 yards rushing. The biggest part of them was they dropped a lot of open passes, though. Marvin Harrison, I think, had like 2, maybe 3 crucial drops. And to be quite frank, if they catch some of those balls that they dropped, this is a very different ball game. So we got very lucky there. But yeah, Arizona's not a team that you can sleep on. They can beat any team, it seems like. They're a strong team. They've got a lot of talent there. And I want to end off that segment of, giving a shout out to James Conner, who went down with a very gruesome injury. It seemed like it was his ankle, and that just sucked to see. James Conner, such a tough runner, such a competitor. He always gives the Niners trouble, and he very much was looking like it today as well. So hopefully he's all right. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. So praying the best for James Conner. All in all, not a clean win, but hey, a win is a win, as I've constantly said. 3-0 is 3-0. First in the division is first in the division. Everybody else is 2-1, 2-1, but you have to perform better. You have to perform better. And this team really needs just a blowout victory. I feel like they need to have that stamping win that brings the team together, because the past 3 weeks really have been sloppy. They haven't been the best football. Now, of course, this team isn't at its full strength. You don't really expect the best football out of them, but if that does happen with the backups, that would be so electric. So hopefully they get that blowout victory soon, maybe next week. Another note, it's nice to have a kicker. Eddie Pinheiro might have just proved, hey, there's no stress. He could have looked into the camera right after he made that and said, hey, Faithful, I got this, don't worry about it. No stress. It's on me. And boy, I'd feel I'd feel great. I already feel good seeing him trot out there. So happy to have Pinheiro on the team. Biggest note is just stay healthy and get healthy. You know, it sucks seeing guys like Nick Bosa getting injured here. Renardo Green even got a little banged up. Just stay healthy and get healthy. Win the games ahead of you. Win the games you got to win. Because soon enough, the guys will come back. Brock Purdy will be back. George Kittle will be back. Brandon Ayuk will be back. Jennings will be back. Mustafa will be. Soon enough, the guys will slowly start coming back, start feeling good. This is going to be a different team come, week 8, week 9, week 10, when it gets into some serious football. So just keep winning out these easy games. Just stay in there. Next up, the 49ers stay at home. They'll take on the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are 2-1. They're coming off of a big win against division rival Houston Texans. So we got to get our get back for D'Amico Ryans, first and foremost. And hopefully we get that stomping, blowout victory against a struggling Jacksonville team. Yes, they're 2-1, but they also haven't played some of the best football. Got to bring your A game. You can't sleep on any of these guys. And just come ready to be hit, ready to be physical. This team very well could be 4-0 going into to take on the Los Angeles Rams. But hey, 1 week at a time, folks. I will see y'all next time. Thanks for tuning into this episode. If you enjoyed it, take a look in the description below. All my social medias there, the YouTube, the Instagram, the Twitter, the TikTok. I guess you're on the YouTube already, huh? Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment down below. I love talking with you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Folks, have a good one.